Hello, friends from across the nation and around the world. I'm Martin, and you are listening to Dad's Bedtime Stories. Tonight, we're going to continue with one of my favorite series, the Dragon Knight series, with another introduction to a new Dragon Knight, which means it's as good a place to start the series as any. And if you like it and want to see how the other things happen, you can go back and listen to the other episodes. This one was inspired by a couple listener suggestions. As I said in the last episode of the Dragon Knights, many people seem to want a lightning dragon. And here are just a couple examples of people asking for that. Let's check them out.
Hello, my name is Connor, and I would like a suggestion to the Dragon Knight series where you meet an Thunder Dragon. That's name is Bolt, and the rider's name is Connor. Bye, I love your podcast.
A wonderful suggestion from Connor, and I am actually going to go with those names, Connor and Bolt, mostly because in the next suggestion, I couldn't really hear the name, but maybe you can. Tell me what it is if you figure it out in the comments.
Hello, Martin. This is Skylar and Andrew, and we'd like to ask you to do a story about an electric dragon for the Dragon Knight series.
Named Lexi.
And he finds a rider named Alexis but he lives in a field of flowers and that's all.
Thank you to Skylar and Andrew for that one. Now, I think maybe the dragon's name was Lexi, and the dragon rider was Alexis in that one, but I just wasn't super sure, so I went with the other name. And I love the idea of flowers, but I did decide on a mountain where thunderstorms never stop, so kind of the opposite of flowers. Either way, both of those suggestions did go into making this episode, so I hope you enjoy it. Now, if you like the podcast, rate it, review it, comment on it. All of those things go a really long way. And if you have any ideas for me about how to promote the podcast, please send me an email or shout me out on social media or something like that. I'm trying a new series of fake news clips reporting children being abducted by a spaceship that takes them on mysterious adventures and other things like that. But I'm not sure if that will work or if that's even a good idea. So let me know your thoughts. I'm always looking for opinions, and especially if there's someone out there who has more experience than me promoting these sorts of things, reach out. But now, it's that time again. Time to get as comfy as you can in that bed. Close your eyes and imagine yourself doing what the kid in the story does. Most dragons in the world were born with the same familiar powers. Earth dragons could shape stone and soil. Fire dragons commanded flame and heat. Wind dragons danced through the sky. Water dragons ruled rivers and storms. Nature dragons could call vines and growth from even the poorest ground. And then, rarely, there were elemental dragons, the terrifying kind that could wield all five. But every so often, something stranger happened. A dragon egg would be touched by a force outside the usual elements. Sometimes it came from reckless magical experimentation. Sometimes it came from pure accident, nature's wild sense of humor, or fate's quiet decision to break its own rules. That was how the most famous legendary dragon had been born. His name had been Electro, the Thunder Dragon. As the stories go, Electro began as a fire dragon, nothing more than a developing spark inside an egg. Until the exact moment his powers were forming, a thunderstorm rolled over his nesting cliffs. Lightning struck, not near the egg, but on the egg. The shell didn't shatter. The storm didn't kill him. Instead, something fused into his very being. When Electro finally hatched, he didn't breathe fire. He breathed lightning. Electricity crawled across his scales like living veins of blue light. Thunder followed his movements. Storm clouds gathered when he was angry, and when he roared, the sky answered. During the rebellion against the Dragon King, who some called the Dragon Thief, of course, Electro fought with the resistance. He was too powerful to be controlled easily, too clever to be tricked. A single bolt of lightning could take out a dragon and rider. But the rebellion had seen the truth. The Dragon Thief's mind control spell was spreading, and the world was falling. Electro did something desperate. He agreed to create a single egg, a single offspring, one last chance for freedom, hidden far from the Dragon Thief's reach, high atop a mountain range where thunderstorms never stopped, where lightning struck so often the rock had been melted and hardened again 100 times over. Electro laid an egg, infused with his storm power. He knew the hatchling would need a special kind of food. Not meat, not plants, not flame, but pure electricity. So the egg waited in the Thunder Mountains, cradled by stone and storm, until a chosen rider came along, someone brave enough to follow lightning into the dark. And eventually, that rider came, Connor of the Thunder Mountains. Connor had never known a dry day. In the Thunder Mountains, rain wasn't weather, it was just a fact of life. It soaked clothes, slicked stone, filled boots, and crept into bones until everything felt permanently cold, wet, and heavy. Storm clouds clung to the peaks like they'd decided to live there, rumbling day and night, week after week, flashing with distant lightning that split the sky again and again. Most people avoided the region entirely, but beneath those mountains lay iron, and not just any iron, strong, dense, and unusually pure iron, the kind of metal that made better weapons and stronger armor. That was why a small mining community existed here, and that was why, despite the misery, the Dragon King's kingdom still traded with them. Connor's family was part of that community. His father worked in the mines just like everyone else. His hands were thick with scars, his shoulders permanently hunched from years of hauling carts through narrow tunnels. His mother kept their small home together, drying clothes that never quite dried, and patching roofs that leaked faster than anyone could fix them. Unlike places ruled directly by dragons, the Thunder Mountains were left mostly alone. Fire dragons didn't like the rain. Water dragons, as much as they liked the rain, weren't huge fans of the lightning. And even elemental dragons found the storms somewhat unpredictable. So, the Dragon King settled for trade instead of control. And that made people braver. At night, unlike in other parts of the world, they would openly tell stories about the Dragon Thief, stories about how he stole the dragons from the Dragon Knights, stories about how one day the Knights would return and free the kingdom. "They stole them," Connor heard his father saying often. "The dragons didn't used to be like this. They're different now." They used to be partners, his mother would add. Knights and dragons together, as things were meant to be, before that dragon thief. Connor listened, eyes wide, imagining skies filled with free dragons instead of chained ones, imagining himself being one of those dragon riders. On this particular day, his father had headed into the mines before dawn, leaving Connor to his own devices. The rain was especially heavy, drumming against stone and running in silver streams down mountain paths. Connor grabbed a stick from beside the door and climbed higher up the slope, boots slipping in the mud. "I'm a dragon knight," he declared to the empty air, swinging the stick like a sword. "But I don't command fire, I command lightning." He leapt from rock to rock, shouting imagined commands, blasting invisible enemies with thunder. He pictured the Dragon King himself fleeing before him, dragons breaking free behind him as storms rolled overhead. Lightning crackled above, close enough that the sound hit before the light faded. Connor laughed. "See, even the skies agree." He spun and slipped on a wet stone and vanished from the mountainside with a startled yell. The world became rushing darkness. He tumbled down a steep, forgotten shaft, bouncing painfully before slamming onto a solid ground. For a long moment, he lay there, heart hammering, rainwater dripping down the stone walls above him. Okay, that was not very heroic. As his eyes adjusted, he noticed something strange. The darkness wasn't, completely dark. There was a soft blue light flickering across the walls, cracking faintly like lightning. Connor pushed himself to his feet and stared. He was not alone. Connor looked around for the source of light until his eyes fell on what could only be described as a giant egg, sitting at the center of the chamber. It was larger than Connor's torso, resting in a shallow stone cradle. Its shell was deep blue-gray, veined with glowing lines of electric light that arced and snapped across its surface. Every few seconds, a little spark would jump from the egg to the stone floor with a sharp pop. Connor's heart pounded, not with fear, but with something else. Recognition. "I knew it," he whispered. "I knew lightning knights were real." He reached out and then hesitated. His fingers tingled, nervous buzzing all the way up his arm. He reached his hand towards the egg. The moment his hand brushed the shell, the chamber exploded with light. Bolts of electricity shot out of the egg, directly into the walls above them, and the egg split open with a sharp crack. Connor stumbled backward, shielding his eyes as sparks sprayed outward. Then, something small and fast leapt from the broken shell and skidded to a stop in front of him. It was a dragon. Not large, no bigger than a dog really, but unmistakably a dragon. Sleek and angular, with sharp little horns and wings that cracked faintly with blue energy. Thin arcs of electricity danced across its scales, tracing lines like living lightning. The dragon blinked once, then twice. It looked up at Connor and grinned. "You're late," it said, "but You made it. Connor's jaw dropped. You talk? Of course I talk, the dragon said. I'm a dragon. It puffed its chest out proudly, sparks flickering brightly. My name is Bolt. Bolt stepped closer, eyes glowing brighter as electricity around him surged. Connor felt something click inside his chest, like two wires snapping together, at least if Connor knew what wires were. You are my dragon knight, Bolt declared. Connor felt warmth rush through him. Not heat like fire, but energy, sharp and alive. My what? He managed to say. Bolt nodded, entirely satisfied. Yep, you'll do nicely. But before we do anything heroic, there's a bit of a problem. Bolt's stomach rumbled. I'm starving, the dragon said. And I don't eat what you probably think. Connor just stared at him. You don't eat food? Connor was glad to hear that, since it would probably take an amazing amount of food to feed this thing. Bolt grinned wider. Nope. I eat storms. Pure electricity. Bolt didn't wait for permission. He scampered past Connor, claws clicking against the stone, and sprang upward in a blur of blue light. A sudden crack of electricity echoed through the chamber, and before Connor could shout, the dragon shot straight up the mine shaft like a living bolt of lightning. Hey, wait! Connor yelled, scrambling after him as quickly as he could. He climbed hard, but he slipped on mud, his heart pounding as thunder rolled overhead. When Connor appeared from the end of the mine shaft, he saw Bolt there, hovering above the ground, wings spread out, just buzzing with energy, as if he was somehow levitating rather than flying. Perfect, he shouted over the thunder. Stay back. Before Connor could argue, Bolt shot upward, straight into the storm. The lightning changed. Bolts that should have slammed into the ground curved midair, bending toward the dragon like they were being pulled by an invisible force. The first strike hit Bolt square in the chest with a deafening boom. Connor screamed and jumped backwards, but Bolt didn't fall. Instead, he grew. Electricity raced along his body's scales, flaring bright blue and white. Another strike hit, then another. Each bolt fed into him, lightning pouring into his frame like fuel into a forge. Bolt's wings spread wider. His body lengthened, his horns sharpened, and finally, the lightning stopped. Bolt descended, landing heavily on the rock before him. Only, he was no longer small. He was now at least the size of a horse, powerful and crackling with contained storm energy. "Ah," he said, "that's better." Connor stared up at him, soaked and trembling. "You let the lightning hit you?" Bolt blinked. "Yes, of course." "But you could have been destroyed." Bolt just laughed. "I am lightning, or at least close enough." Then he lowered himself down towards Connor. "Want a ride?" Connor hesitated for half a second, but then he climbed on to Bolt's back, and the dragon launched skyward, soaring straight through the storm. Rain lashed at Connor's face, lightning flashed so close he could feel it in his teeth, and thunder roared all around him. Then, suddenly, they burst above the clouds and there was silence. Connor gasped as warm sunlight poured down on him. The sky above was clear and blue, stretching endlessly below them. The storm raged like a living sea below. I've never seen this, he said. Storms are only truly bad when you're beneath them, or within them, Bolt explained, and the two of them continued to drift high above the storm until the clouds started to dissipate. They drifted towards the ridge of a more distant mountain and landed on the ground, dry ground. Honestly, the first time Connor could remember dry ground. Now, Bolt said, this should be a good place, and it's time you learn what it means to be a dragon knight. What does it mean? Connor asked. It means you are no longer alone. A knight and dragon share power, purpose, and it also means you won't stay so fragile and squishy. Before Connor could ask what that meant, Bolt snapped his wings once. A surge of energy rushed through Connor's chest. He stumbled for a second, not out of fear, but with raw, crackling force. Blue-white light burst around him and wrapped his body in bands of metal and lightning. Armor had just formed around Connor. It looked like it was made out of steel and lined with pure lightning. On his left arm, a shield unfolded from a bracer, and at his right side, a sword appeared, its blade dark iron edge with a constant shimmer of blue lightning. What is this? That is your dragon armor, Bolt explained. This is incredible, he said as he clenched his left fist and noticed that the shield got bigger. It's also necessary, Bolt said as he allowed a small bolt of electricity to shoot toward Connor. Connor barely had time to react. The shield snapped up on instinct, absorbing the charge in a flash of light, but the impact rattled his arm. Hey, Connor protested. Again, Bolt said, and shot another bolt. Connor shifted again, blocking it more cleanly this time. Good, Bolt said. The armor enhances your strength, speed, and reflexes, but it still requires you to do the moving. The two of them trained until Connor's arm ached, and finally, Bolt stepped back. Now comes the harder part. There's a harder part? Connor asked. The armor protects you, but lightning obeys you. It does? Connor asked. Reach for the storm. Not the one on the outside, but the one on the inside. Your link to me. Your link to energy. You see, Connor, as I said, all dragon knights share power with their dragons. And just as I can wield the power of lightning, so too can you. Connor focused. He focused on the hum inside his chest. That's it, Bolt said. Now command it outward. Connor focused on the lightning, and sure enough, a little spark appeared in his hand. There it is. The next few days blurred together. Bolt slept in the cave that he was hatched in, and Connor returned every morning. Bolt spent hours feeding, hovering just below the clouds, drawing in lightning, and growing larger and larger. Then, they would train. Connor learned how to send controlled bolts of electricity across the open ground. It was sort of difficult to aim, but he got the idea of sending the blasts. Then, he started to work on precision. How to stun things without killing them. How to connect the lightning to its intended target instead of just kind of shooting all over the place, which is what it did at first. And one afternoon, after Connor had mastered those skills, Bolt showed him something new. "Lightning is not just power," he explained. "It is a sort of charge, an attraction, or the opposite." To demonstrate, Bolt floated up in the air. "What I'm doing now is not flying exactly. It's more repelling myself from the ground. Everything has a charge, Connor, and you should be able to feel that charge. Its unique electrical signal, its magnetic force. Once you feel the charge, become the same charge, and inevitably, two like powers will repel." Connor focused his mind, felt the charge of the ground, and after a few tries, he learned to hover, to use his magnetic, electric power to push himself away from the earth. By the end of the week, Connor could not only hover, but dash short distances through the air and land softly without stumbling. It made him feel a lot safer riding a dragon, knowing that even if he fell off, he could come to a safe landing. The day everything changed came without warning. Connor was walking halfway down the mountain when horns sounded in the village. They weren't just any horns, they were warning horns. From the ridge above, Connor saw them. Water dragons. The same dragons that appeared every few weeks to collect the supplies and head back to the Dragon King. Connor's father stood at the town center. 3 riders landed in front of him. "Where is the material?" the rider of the first dragon demanded. "It's right here," Connor's father said, pointing to 3 almost full carts of iron. "Those carts are looking a little bit empty," the head knight said, as he commanded his dragon to approach Connor's father. "We did what we could," he answered. "We can only mine so fast. They are a bit light, but we're happy to accept less in trade, of course. Or perhaps you will have to accept a lesson. A lesson in not disappointing the Dragon King," the rider said. The water around the dragons lifted up off of the ground and formed itself into a giant spike of ice. The spike of ice lifted up above Connor's father. "No!" Connor yelled as he used his magnetic force to leap up into the air, instinctively summoning his Dragon Knight armor as he flew. He reached out with his hand and unleashed a bolt of electricity that struck the dragon and rider with unrelenting force. The rider almost immediately passed out and fell off of the dragon. The dragon just twitched a little bit. "What was that?" the other riders asked, looking around to see Connor floating down from the sky. "Did that boy just shoot lightning at Cliff there?" one of them asked. "I think he did. We can't let him get away with that." The two dragons, along with their knights, turned towards Connor, who was still floating in the air. The water from the rain around them began to collect itself, swirling around the dragons, gaining more and more mass as it went. Then it rose up into the air and shot towards Connor. Bolt appeared in a flash, his wing shielding Connor from the blast of water. Then, Bolt electrified. He sent two powerful surges of electricity through the water and directly into each of the riders, who, just like the rider before them, passed out and fell off of their dragons. Connor descended down towards his father. "Are you okay?" he asked. "Son? Are you a dragon knight?" his father asked. "I'd heard legends of the dragon knights coming back. I'd even heard stories about one spending some time here during the rebellion. But I never thought my own son would become one of them." I think I kind of am one of them," Connor said. "Well then, you have to go, boy. I'm not happy about it, but, well, when these riders don't return home, others will come looking. You can't be here when they get back." "But I want to stay," Connor said. "You can't. Fate has bigger things for you, but we will see each other again. Go, boy. We will take care of these knights, and I'll talk to the other villagers. We'll come up with some sort of story to explain this whole thing. I don't think the dragons will be able to talk. And as far as anyone needs to know, they aren't the first dragons to be struck by lightning in these parts, especially during a particularly bad storm, if you know what I mean." Connor understood perfectly. He needed to go. The villagers worked together to create a bag of supplies as quickly as they could, and to give them to Connor. Connor took the bag, which was full of food and survival gear, swung it around his back, and climbed aboard Bolt. "Well, I'll be back soon," he said, as he took off into the air, flying high up through the clouds until he found himself floating once again, the sunlight against his skin, traveling into the unknown.